This is Stay Paid, the marketing podcast that gives listeners a competitive edge to stay motivated, find inspiration, and discover proven real-world tactics from some of the best marketers across the nation.
Welcome to another Silver Dollar episode of Stay Paid. I'm Joshua Stike.
And I'm Luke Akery.
And now more than ever, building your personal brand is increasingly important, with the average American being exposed from anywhere from 4,000 to 10,000 advertisements a day. You have to find your unique voice and capture the attention of your ideal clients for your services. Fortunately, technology has given us access to tools and platforms that only the big brands used to have access to less than 20 years ago. So today, we're going to go over how you can start the journey of creating or refining your own personal brand to become the #1 professional your most coveted prospects think of.
Yeah. You have a brand. Either you control it or you're allowing the prospect, the client, to control the brand. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the most powerful things to understand is whether you post on social, don't post on social, whatever you're doing for your brand, you have one.
Yeah.
So don't think you don't have one. You have a personal brand. It's just you're controlling it and controlling the narrative of it, or you're giving that narrative over to other people to control.
Yeah, 100%. So this is just kind of a guideline. I got this, I want to give credit where credit's due, thinkific.com. One of their blogs, I was just doing some research and figuring, all right, how do we kind of lay out how to start creating a personal brand? Because it's a big challenge and it's a lot to think about. I think a lot of people get lost in the paralysis by analysis and overthinking it and spending so much time on preparing it that they don't ever move on it.
Yeah.
So this is just sort of, I think, 6 bullet points on where you can start. Number 1, and I like this because it's really about building your foundation for your brand. And there's a couple things that you can include in that. The first thing is to really build out your authentic self. And we've been talking about this a lot lately in terms of being authentic. And one of the things that you can do in order to do that is start to go through and pull out what are your skills and credentials, what are your passions and interests, and then I think most importantly, what are your core values and beliefs?
Yeah, I love that, especially the core values and beliefs part. I've seen people go through exercises where they write out their core values and belief system. And I think that's such a good thing to do exercise-wise because then it allows you to build your content pillars from it.
Yeah. Here's another thing that you want to have: key elements for building your foundation of your brand. You want to include your brand vision. So this is what you want to be known for. You want to include your brand mission, which is what you want to accomplish. Your brand message. So this is the idea of if you could give people one piece of advice. And this gets hard because you want to be everything to everybody, but if you could give people one piece of advice, what would that be? And then your brand personality. So how do you want to be perceived? You want to be perceived polished and professional, quirky, adventurous, funny, dad jokes, stuff like that.
That's interesting you say that is one piece of advice. I'm trying to think reminder media. What would we say? I probably would say, if it had to be one sentence, I would use, that slogan you came up with: relationships equal revenue. So if you
invest in relationships, they will return on that.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's basically if the best way to grow your business is through relationships. Relationships equal revenue.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think about that crafting wise. That's hard to get down to one.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
There's some great guides though. Check out how to building a story brand.
Yeah,
by Donald Miller. They have some worksheets online that kind of walk you through it, and we've done that as well. It does get overwhelming sometimes when doing that because so many ideas and so many things come up. But if you can boil it down to that one piece of advice. Number 2, choose your target audience. So you want to know who you actually want to serve. This is so important as a personal brand, right? As a service professional, because you want to work with people that you like. And because you will enjoy it better, they will have a better connection with you. You'll be able to service and help them better. And so many people, like I said, they don't want to say no to certain clients. They want to appeal to everybody, and they end up with working people that they don't want to work with versus really thriving in working with people that you enjoy.
Yeah, that's really difficult to do, especially in the beginning, because you need the deal. So you're willing to work with anybody. But I would tell you, your life will be
the people
so
I
much
like
better.
are the ones with the money.
Yeah. Me too.
No, but here's some things you want to look at. Demographics. So what are their age, personality, gender, whatever, demographic wise. Desires and aspirations, so I think is one of the biggest ones. What are their dreams? What are their goals? And then here's the critical one: their pain points and challenges. Go through and identify the pain points and challenges. What is preventing them from achieving their goals?
Yeah, no, I would agree. A lot of times what you can do is look at your current sphere. If you've been in business, you can look at your past deals. And that will tell you a lot.
Yeah.
When you go look at your past deals and go, who are the people that I serve?
Number 3, I like that this was on here because I wouldn't have thought of it. I think you'll like it as well. Number 3, create an irresistible offer.
Yes. What is the value prop? Offer. Yeah. What is the value prop that you actually bring to the table that is different from everybody else that will create it? Tony Robbins says people need to feel like they would be dumb not to try what you're offering. That's how good your offer is, that they would be dumb not to actually just try it. Yeah. And actually, I'll give a testament to this of like with our magazine and stuff like that. The way we frame it up for people, we don't try to sell people on a contract right away. Yeah. We try to get them to try it one time. Yep. And it all plays into this idea of an irresistible offer. We do some things where we have a setup fee, we reduce it. So there's some pricing irresistibility, but more importantly than the pricing irresistibility is how we frame up
the potential of the opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's how we frame up that you have to keep in touch with your clients. Yeah. Question is not should you, it's just how. And this is the most unique tool to do it. And then we obviously explain through the value prop why it is. And I think what makes people very interested is they go, yeah, I'd be dumb not to at least try sending this one time. Yeah, 100%. Because let me see what the results will be. Let me try it. And then 84% obviously continue on.
Yeah, you want to promise your clients a very specific outcome and then create an offer that helps them achieve that. Here's the formula for it. What you love to do plus what you do best plus what your audience wants is your irresistible offer. So you can walk through what you do, which is your value proposition. You hit on that. How you do it, which is your process, your product, or your service. And then obviously why it works. I pulled this quote from Grant Cardone because I liked it. People need to know who you are and what you do in the most simple way possible. Keep it simple. You should be able to brand yourself in 5 words or less. Yeah. Simplicity sells. Complexity causes confusion. Yeah. Number 4, this is more on the technical side, more on the identity side of your brand, the visual identity, is to optimize or create, if you don't have one, your personal website. You have to have a personal website. If you're in real estate, if you're in insurance, if you're in one of these service-based sales professionals where you're working, or professions where you're working for a larger brand, don't rely on your page that they give you on their website, right? You want to build out, if you're looking to build a personal brand, you need to have your own website with your own branding and your own visual identity, along with all of the other pieces that we're talking about in terms of like your personality.
Yeah, 100%. Especially in a service-based sale, they do business with you, not the company. So they need to know you visually.
Yeah, and that visual identity and the design is what builds the trust. I forget the stat, but it was something like 89%. It was a very high percentage of people actually gauge whether or not they can trust a business purely based on the design of their website. So it's important to invest in that. Here's some key elements that you want to include on your website. Your logo, obviously, your value proposition. You want to get that in the hero. So the thing that we just talked about with your value proposition, if you can get that down to 5 words or less, put that in the hero of your website. You want to use professional photography. I think about your brother's team and how good, every time I see them on social media, like, man, they just look sharp.
They do, man.
Right? They look good because they've invested in professional photography for even like their newest agents, right? They had an agent that joined, I think, within a week. Their professional photo was online. You want to include social proof. So this is also where the trust comes in. Publications that you've been featured in, client testimonials, anywhere else where your team has been featured or awards that you've won. And then you want to make sure that you have a very clear call to action to let people know what you want them to do or what they can get from visiting your website.
So I'll just show you. You guys can pull up. I'm on my phone, but pull up remindermedia.com, right? That's our company. Yeah. And right away in the hero on the phone, this is how it looks. It says, "We make you unforgettable." In the biggest text. And then it says, effortlessly impress and stay top of mind with your entire database of contacts on autopilot and skyrocket your referrals and repeat business. Then the call to action is get an estimate. Yep. And then it's 5 stars, and then a testimonial from Linda saying the first mailing I sent out got me a listing.
So passed.
Right, yeah, exactly. I just wanted to test and Josh didn't know I was going to do that. As he was saying that, I was like, let me pull up our website. But essentially, that's the idea. You know immediately. Okay, Reminder Media says they make me unforgettable. What do they do? Oh, they effortlessly impress and stay top of mind with my entire database, and it's on autopilot. And I'm going to get referrals and repeat business from it. Well, how much does this cost? Yeah. And then the social proof, it's 5 stars. Linda says I got a mail or listing off my first mailing, type idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Other important pages you want to make sure to include on your website. Don't skip these. Your about page. This is going to include your personal story, accolades, and credentials. Again, I just want to drive home the importance of something like that for a personal brand, because if people are going to work with you, they need to know who you are. You want to make sure you have your products and services very clearly laid out, what programs you have, what services you sell. Content or free resources is another another great one. So if you don't have a blog, that's a great opportunity.
You mean like a podcast like we do?
Podcast is on there as well, on those ideas. Blog posts not only great for SEO, but also helps you get value to your clients and to the people that are coming to your website. FAQ is a great one. Ebooks, webinars, those can also be used as lead magnets if you're offering free training or free ebooks or free resources there. You can actually then start to build your email list. And then, of course, the most important one, you need to have a contact page, how people can get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
Number 5 is to create a content strategy. So we've talked a lot about social media and content here on the podcast, obviously, but making sure that you've created and are distributing free content is one of the most effective ways to build your brand and earn the trust of your target audience, instead of trying to convince your audience that you can help them. Actually help them.
Yes,
Stop
100%.
trying to convince and actually help.
Yeah, we always say 3 E's of content: education, entertainment, endearment, right? So you want to educate, you want to entertain, and you want to endear yourself to the audience. Endearment is really that altruistic side where you want to make sure they know you're a business of purpose, not just profit. So it's very important. Like we just interviewed Janet, and she's with the
Janet
Dwellers
Brink.
Group.
Yep.
And they just posted on their page, they donated $10,000 to, I think, this community center kids group thing, right? Or whatever it was. That's an endearment thing. That's an endearment, getting out in front of the audience that endears her to the local community. Obviously, she's doing it for great reasons, and it shows she's a business of purpose, not just a business of profit. Those 3 types of content: education, entertainment, and endearment. If you get in those categories consistently is the key, that's where you'll win.
Yeah, if you're trying to think of different ways to create content, I actually found this website, and I love it. I never saw it before. This is from Neil Patel, answerthepublic.com. You can search for a topic, a brand, or a product, and then you can specify United States, English, the language and the country, and it'll return. So I did print marketing. It'll return key indicators for things that are highly searched, average searched, and lowest searched.
That's sick.
And then what's cool, it's it takes print marketing and then it breaks it down by who. So who prints magazines? Will print media survive? I'm just reading the top hits. What's print marketing? Why print marketing is still important. And it just kind of goes around this circle. It's really cool and really easy to follow. And the reason why I bring that up is because if you're looking at a particular topic or service that you offer, search that website and it literally gives you your content ideas. So now I can do a blog on or a video on, can print media survive the digital age?
That's awesome.
Because that's the highest searched question in the CAN. They call it the CAN category, which is just the leading question in SEO. So I thought that was cool.
What is that called?
Answerthepublic.com. I'm going to make sure our content team has that.
Yeah. Answer the content.
Here's some different content types you can have: text and articles. Obviously, these would be your blogs. You can do videos, podcasts. We mentioned webinars, online courses, PDF guides, and checklists. That then goes into your lead magnet side. Infographics, slideshows, and case studies. Focus on quality and consistency. Those are your 2 pillars when looking at content. You want quality content, but you want consistent content first and foremost. Yeah,
quality when it comes to the blogs and stuff like that you're doing. Don't think about quality in terms of social media. You can be raw. Don't have to film with a fancy camera. You don't have to think about every story that you're posting.
I would say quality less in terms of visual production, and quality more in terms of it's got to be real and valuable.
Yes, exactly.
Valuable. There you go. Yeah. All right, and number 6, and this leads us perfectly into our next silver dollar that will come out 2 weeks from now, because this month in July is all about building your personal brand, leaving impression pieces, kind of working on relationships, right? So this is going to go into how to nurture your relationships within your business. But it's to build a community. Instead of trying to build a large and broad audience and go super wide, you want to shift your focus to becoming a leader of your community and a specific niche, and then go deep within that community.
Yep. The only way to build a community is to have shared values. And the only way to get to know people is actually spending time with them. So I would challenge you. We say this often, but I really want to hammer it home for you. You should be doing a client event, a community event. You need to get your community together. Then it will elevate every other drip thing that you do for your brand. massively. So if you do a client event and then you start a Facebook group for all your clients, all of a sudden your Facebook group becomes real because people have interacted with each other. They've met each other. Yeah. They have you in common, right? And what you're trying to create there. So every other drip gets elevated in just value and what it's going to return for you based upon you spending time and getting together with your people.
Awesome. So there you go. There's 6 ways to start building your personal brand. Thank you so much for listening. You can head on over to staypaidpodcast.com for the show notes and the video of this episode. And if you like this episode and want to show your support, head on over to Apple Podcasts. Drop us a 5-star review along with a review. Also want to point out, what is it? Stitcher is shutting down here. I don't know if it'll be down by the time this episode comes out, but if you listen on Stitcher, we get tons of downloads on Stitcher. I was kind of surprised.
I was shocked.
Make sure to switch over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
It's like we're also 300 or something.
Yeah, Overcast and a couple different players out there as well. You can always go to staypaidpodcast.com to get those episodes also. And if you're a new listener, we do a dad joke every episode.
Yes, we do.
It's just been a thing. I don't know when it started. I think it started during quarantine. We were all slightly crazy. I made one stupid dad joke, and people were like, "Bring back the dad jokes."
Exactly.
So it wasn't an original thing, like in the first episode.
It was organic, man.
I actually tried stopping it at one point.
That's how you know it's authentic. Because it was organic.
Well, here you go. Part of your personal brand, Luke, is your musical side.
Yes.
Right? You're a musician. A very good musician. You've posted some videos of that as well.
Yep.
Well, this is a musical joke. What do you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft? You get a flat minor.
Oh my god!
I like that.
That was a good one.
Yeah. If you want to get hold of me or Luke, you can email us at podcast@remindermedia.com, or you can find us on Instagram. We are at Stay Paid Podcast. And also make sure to follow us on TikTok if you're not. We're at StayPaid_podcast on TikTok. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
Guys, I'm Luke Acree. So obviously you have a brand like we opened up with, whether you know it or not. You just have to direct it. In order to direct it, you got to be putting out things consistently. You got to be getting content out in front of your key audience. My action item for you is to go to that website and get some of your content ideas.
Answerthepublic.com.
Yeah, answerthepublic.com. Go to that, get some content ideas for yourself, and then start putting out that piece of content. Like, I think that is a really tactical and actionable item for you that you can go execute literally today. Remember, the difference between top producers and mediocre producers in every business is top producers take action. Take action on that.